Everyone, this is Carrie Scott calling from the Traverse City office, and welcome to MoxiMonday. We are going to be talking about Moxie Engage today, which is our CRM, our client relationship management tool. There is a great product in there called Favs and Saves, and it really is driven by your client and what they have for their home buying needs. You can set up saved searches for them so that they automatically get new listings as they come on the market. You can set up multiple ones as well if you choose to. Then once they fave a house, if they click the little heart to make it a favorite, it then shows up on their list in Moxie Engage that you as the agent can view. So you have an idea of what they're faving, so you can make sure that when you're searching for properties, you're searching for those properties that they really are interested in. So let's go ahead and jump in. Hopefully you all can hear me and see my screen. So if somebody could just type in that chat box real quick for me and let me know, I would appreciate it. All right, great. All right, perfect. Thank you guys so much. So you are looking at Moxie landing page, which always will take you to your My Account. There's a couple different ways you can get here. As you can see up here, my.schmidtresources.com. That is your Moxie URL to log in. However, you can get there straight from our own Schmidt Resources. So I'm going to switch my screen over to Schmidt Resources. You all should have seen this at some point, I hope. And whether you launch in from Michigan, Ohio, Florida, or USVI, you're going to find a Moxie Works square on your landing page. So since I'm sitting in a very chilly, very rainy Michigan right now, we'll go ahead and click on Michigan. And then you're going to scroll until you see the Moxie Works logo. It's got that black circle, and it just has the words Moxie Works. If you click into this square right here, you're going to see it says, click below to log into Moxie. So right here is that my.schmidtresources.com link. But if you just remember what the link is, you can automatically go to it by typing that in. Or if you come to schmidtresources.com, if you click that link, it'll launch you to your login screen. Now, if you're a newer agent with us, or if you're an agent that's been with us but you can't find your password, just reach out to your local ASC or RSC, and we actually, as administrative staff, can launch password resets for you. So if you're not sure what your username is, if you're not sure what your password is, and you're not sure how to gain access to these tools, please don't hesitate to reach out. Your ASC, your RSC will be able to help you gain access to the tools. So feel free to reach out to us if you are having problems getting logged in. This is a great square to visit though from Schmidt Resources, even if you already have the login, because we have our great benefits of Moxie PDF that kind of explains the entire suite of products. We have our MoxiMonday playlist, which this will be added to shortly after. So there's a lot of great support tools here as well, along with other recorded trainings. So if you're looking for some how-tos, some trainings, some resources for support, head over to schmidtresources.com and click on that Moxie Works square. So once you've clicked here to log in, it will let you have your username entered and your password, and it's going to launch you right into here. This is your My Account. This is all the information that you want to make sure is accurate about yourself. So as you're using the products, whether it's websites, Engage, which we'll talk about today, or Present, which is our CMA portion of Moxie, our competitive market analysis. This is where all of that data will always flow from you. So you want to make sure your headshot's updated, your phone numbers are correct. You can see if you click contact info here, it'll let you go through your emails, your phone number, and then your web info is your bio. So you want to make sure that's updated as well, because again, that will feed all of the other products as you utilize these. So since we are talking about Engage today, which again, remember, is our CRM, our client relationship management tool, you can find the link right here in the upper menu where it says Engage. So if you go ahead and click on that, the first screen that you're going to see is going to be what a manager would view when they log in. So for an agent, you're going to skip this first step right here. But for the managers on the call, you can switch over to your agent view to get to what we're going to talk about today. So you can see that's sitting and spinning just a little bit. So for any manager on the call, you're going to go to the upper left and click from on the manager, you're going to go to agent mode. For all of our wonderful agents on the call, this is what you're going to see as soon as you click on Engage. Right here, it's going to launch you right onto your dashboard. Now, we had a recent training about the updated dashboard, so head to that playlist if you're interested on that. But it really is meant to be like a personal assistant for you. If you log in every day, obviously this is a test site, so we have a lot of junk contacts in here, but it's going to give you 5 people to make contact with. It's going to give you your calendar, which syncs automatically over to your email address. So it really is meant to keep you organized throughout your day. So head over to that dashboard training if you've not sat through it yet. We are going to go ahead and go into our people. So right here, this was our first menu. Keep in mind, we clicked on Engage here to launch onto our dashboard. And from here, we're going to go to People, My People. So for example, say I sat at an open house over the weekend, somebody came in that was interested in the property, decided it wasn't going to work for them, but they didn't have an agent, so they're interested in viewing what is available on the market. So I want to set them up on a saved search. For all you Zap users out there, this is a very similar product to what Zap allows us to do, but it is also available in our Moxie Engage platform. And then once you set up that saved search, if your client clicks a house as a favorite, you're going to be notified of that because it'll show right up in their Moxie Engage notes. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on my test account here. So we went into My People, we're in Engage, oops, and I just relaunched that, and we're going to My People. Now this may be something that you set up because maybe it was one of your 5 people that Moxie told you should contact. So maybe this is what you do to get them some more information. Maybe you set them up on one of these saved searches. You can filter for people by typing in the search screen here, and it's going to give you your results there. You can also go to your filters, and you can filter by the people that you want to look for. Maybe you have them in a certain group. Maybe it's open house buyers as a group. So when you add people, maybe you add them into that. You can search for all kinds of things up in these filters, and then you just click apply and it'll give you your search results. If it's a brand new person and you just want to add them, if they're not in your email yet, so they haven't synced over, you just click the blue add people button and it'll walk you through their data, their name, their phone number if you have one, their email address, all that information, and then you can add them and then go ahead and put in the saves. But just to keep this short and sweet, I'm going to pick on one that we already have set up as a client. And we're just going to click right there on their name. You can see as you navigate, it goes from a hand down to a cursor. So you always know you're on a link when that hand shows up. So if you're like, man, how do I get into this client? Just kind of move your mouse around until you get on the name. And then once that hand shows up, you can go ahead and click on that. This is going to launch us into this client. Now I have already marked this particular person in the marketing pipeline. But if it's a brand new person, the first thing you're going to see if it's a client or a non-client. If you're not ready to commit right then and there to answering that question, you can get to the faves and saves without having to mark any of those steps. And we do that from right over here. So we have our person's name, profile link, notes link, their activity, and then this one right here, faves and saves. So if we click on that, it's going to show that I have 2 saved searches set up, because I've used this as a test account before, but I, as the client, have not saved any houses as a favorite. So those will show up right here. You can see that 0 is right there. If I had marked any of these as a favorite as the client, it's going to show up here, and it's going to give you a link to the listing on the website so you can get right over to it so you can see what they're favoriting. So to set up a new saved search that will automatically email your client as properties in that search parameter come up, you click on Saves right here. If you already have some on here, you can always go to edit those. You can view those. If you click the 3 little dots, you can delete it. Maybe they're like, oh, I really don't want Leelanau County. I've decided I'm Grand Traverse. And so you can delete that search because they're no longer interested. So you do have that option there as well. Over to the right, kind of hidden, sometimes it's hard to find this button, but it is the blue plus saved search. So this is how you can add an additional saved search. So you click the blue button, and it's going to pull up that search parameter just like it looks like on our live website, CB Great Lakes, CB Schmidt, Ohio, CB Florida Homes. It's the exact same search functionality. Now it did default here to an address, so I'm going to go ahead and wipe that out by highlighting the whole thing and clicking delete on my keyboard. Now your search features will always go with whatever your map is. So if you have a boundary drawn, which this one does, It's only going to give you search results in that. If we go to Quick Draw and exit, this is rerunning the search because I got rid of that boundary. So everything showing on the map is going to be in our search parameters. So as you zoom in, you can see our numbers go down. It was at just over 2,000. Now it's down to 1,271. As you zoom in, your search results will always rely on what you see in the map. So a lot of times if you're not finding a particular listing, you'll want to make sure that your map is the correct view so that you can see it on the map. Now obviously if you have a very granular area, maybe this particular client only wants to be in downtown Traverse, you can draw on the map. So if you click the pencil for draw, go to Quick Draw, you can draw on the map. So now our search results will only be in that boundary. Even though the other portions of the map are showing, because I drew the boundary, it's only going to be search results in that boundary. You can always clear, exit, and redraw if you want. You have the opportunity to search for school district and also through a radius. So the radius will just draw a perfect circle around the center and only those in that will show up. But you have further options here. So you can see it. You have your immediate price. So say this particular person, it is Traverse City right now, wants 500,000 to, let's just say 775,000, click apply. We went from 67 listings down to 21. So you can see our map stayed the same, but we're changing our filters up here. You have the same opportunity for beds and baths, or if you click into filters, it's going to give you a lot more options. So perhaps this particular person is only looking for a condo. If you uncheck the other options, they're going to turn white and they're no longer going to show up in your search. So in this particular case, if we uncheck everything, it's only going to be condos in our price that we set right there. And now we are down to 17. So we have our condos. You can exclude pending listings or you can include them if you choose to. If you'd like to include them, just uncheck that. So you can see you have these options for all of your filters. Maybe they want waterfront. Maybe they need a pool. So you have those options and then you click apply. So we're going to click OK. And I'm going to figure out why my next button is grayed out here. So let me just draw on the map one more time. We'll draw a radius in this particular case. Click Run Search right there at the top of our map. And in this particular case, we only have one. I'm going to have to back out because my email settings are grayed out. So something is not working right. So you know what? Technology doesn't always work right. We're going to go ahead and click Cancel. It may be because of one of my other ones is too similar. So to err on the side of caution, since those are just test site searches, we're going to go ahead and delete those. Now you can see because I have no searches in my saves, that plus save search box is no longer there. It's right here. You click Create Search. So just to err on the side of time, because we don't want to go too long, I'm not going to mess with any filters right now. So we have a boundary on the map. You can see there's 40 listings. I'm not going to change any filters, but of course you can absolutely change all those filters as you want. And then the next step is email settings. Right here you can see it's now blue, where before it was grayed out. So this is going to give you an option to rename. So the name of the search, so perhaps it's downtown condos, whatever it might be, you can put that in that box right there. So it's the name of the search. This email message will come in automatically, but of course you can delete that and put in your own words if you want to. So you can see you can customize that. This is where you're going to select your frequency. If you're setting up a saved search but you're not really ready to send it to the client, you can click Never. It won't send them any information, but it will save it in their saved search in case you want to go back to it to further edit it later. You can send it hourly, which seems a bit much to me. Maybe, obviously, we are all in really hot markets right now, so maybe hourly is what you would choose. But just keep in mind, this is the frequency at which your client is going to get these emails from you. You can choose once per day, so they'll just get a recap every day of any new listings that come within that search parameter, or if there was a price reduction on a listing and it's now in their set filter, they would get that as well. Or you can set it to weekly. Now this option right here is send no new listings email if there's a 0 update. So say you've chosen once a day and today's Monday and no new listings went on the market. If you choose this, your client's going to get an email that literally says that 0 listings have come on the market. So you're still communicating with them, but that lets them know that no new properties came up on their search parameters. So you can choose that or not. Once you have this all set up, all you do is click Save and Send. It tells you right at the bottom it was set successfully. And then right here is where you can go back to view that, edit it, or again, delete it. And now that saved search is back over here. So again, we're in our client, we're in our faves and saves, and because I just created that saved search to send to the client, it shows a 1 right there. Now if we go to view this, it's going to give us the live results from our website. And if I, as the client, click on the heart, I can add my own comments if I want to as the client now, and I can save that. So now, when we go back here, if I do a refresh, which is just taking just a moment, and if I go back into my test account, we're going back to our faves and saves. It didn't work quite right, and I have a feeling it's because I'm not logged into my test client account. It's showing it right here, but because I've got dual logins going, it's confusing the system. But this is where it would show up as a faves once your client clicked that little heart to favorite it. And then you'll be able to view their comments as well, so you'll know why they favorited it. Now I have seen some questions come in, so let me revert back to my chat box here and get some of those answered. The question was, will adding to Moxie directly also add to your Gmail, or does it only go one way? It does go both ways. So if you add a client into Moxie Engage, it's going to sync over to your contacts in Gmail. Good question. I had an agent mention that properties with new status and MLS are not showing up in the searches, only actives. Can we fix that? Absolutely, Ray. If you could get me an MLS number or a screenshot or something. Oh, and JD already answered that. Yeah, thanks, JD. So if we can get some examples, send me the MLS sheet, what the status says, and then we can compare it to the Moxie site, and we'll just get that API remapped so that those are showing up correctly. So thank you for that feedback. Sheila, I'm not quite sure what you mean by do you check or uncheck if you want them. If you mean on, let's go to edit. And if you're in your filters here, if you want to exclude them, check mark it. If you want to include pendings, uncheck it. So you're checking the box to exclude them. So I hope that answered that question, but if not, feel free to chat more in the filters. Okay, great, Sheila. So I think that answered that question then. So if it's checked, it is excluding it. If it's unchecked, it will include it. So great question. So just real quick to recap, we are in our Engage, which is our CRM, our client relationship management tool. We went to our people. We launched in from My People. We found the particular client that we wanted to set up the saved search for. So we did that by clicking on their name because our cursor turned into a hand, so we know it's a live link. And then to the left here, we simply went into Faves and Saves. And then because I have this one here, to add a new one, it's in the lower right corner where it says Save Search. Or if you don't have one on here, so we'll delete that real quick, it'll be right here where you can create search. Keep in mind your search results are directly related to how your map is set up. If you have a boundary drawn, it's going to be anything in that boundary. If you have no boundary, it's going to be anything showing up on the map. So that is our Moxie Monday. Let me check for one more time for questions. And I don't see any. Oh, one just came in. Would you see if Moxie can create a search field that would look for specific search items, like in Zap? Tom, if you want to screenshot what that looks like in Zap and get it over to me, we can absolutely make that request. We'll make that request to the Moxie team. So just screenshot what that looks like in Zap and get it to me, and then we'll put that request right in. So that is all the questions I see. I hope everybody has a fantastic week. Thank you so much for spending your Monday morning with me. Head over to schmidtresources.com, head to the Moxie Works tab, find the playlist, and then we'll see you next Monday at 10:15. Thanks, everyone. Bye now.